because I'm a proud Texan? That's exactly what Don't Mess with Texas means.
Get your litter-free state of mind today and don't mess with Texas.
A message from TxDOT.
From the ESPN studios, this is KRZI Waco, K222DC Waco, K265DV Temple, ESPN Central Texas.
All right, have a great broadcast.
Welcome to the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank on the Baylor Sports Media Network. Today's show is broadcast live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue and brought to you by Central National Bank, your leading independent bank. Texas Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. TFNB, your bank for life. The official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Baylor Scott and White Health, the official hospital and healthcare system of Baylor Athletics. Your healthcare, your way. HEB, the official grocer of Baylor Athletics. Proudly serving Texans since 1905. Rudy's Barbecue, the home of real Texas barbecue. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Baylor Bears, John Morris.
Well, hello and welcome to the Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank. I'm not John Morris. I am Faith Lynch, so I'm filling in today. We are live at Rudy's Barbecue, located on the Circle, and thank you for tuning in today, whether that's on Baylor Athletics YouTube page, here in person, or on our flagship station. We have, to kick us off here, head coach, Coach Jay Goble of Women's
Hi.
Baylor Golf.
How are you?
Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes.
Glad to be here.
Glad you're here. Y'all are rolling.
Yes, we've already started. And thankfully we were in Florida last week and we didn't have to deal with the ice storm and the snow. But yeah, we've already started. Yeah. We've already played one tournament.
Yes, and you are coming off of a great fall. I believe 57-9. Is that where y'all finished?
we had a really great fall. We were finished ranked around 20th in the country, which is great. We've finished top 5 in every tournament that we've played this fall, including a win in Hawaii, which was fun. Excited to get started with the spring. We have a very busy spring that thankfully gets to conclude later on at Ridgewood Country Club for regionals for us.
Yes,
which will be awesome to get there and have an opportunity to go to our 6th straight national championship by playing our home golf course.
Yeah, 6 straight. I mean, that is just unreal. And you talked about those top 5 finishes. You got to host the Bear Brawl at Ridgewood, which you had Yurang Lee win.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah. And she just came off of the big Hawaii.
Yeah, she won in Hawaii and then came here and won her 2nd event in a row for Baylor, which is amazing. She was, during those 5 rounds, 17 under par for 5 rounds, which is unheard of. It's amazing to go out and play that well consistently. She got off to a little bit of a rough start last week in Orlando, and I was just out at our range, and she is bound and determined to not let that performance repeat itself. So she'll be ready next week when we head to Tucson, and she's an amazing player. We're really glad to have her here.
Yeah. Tell me about her a little bit more. Is she freshman, sophomore, coming in, transfer? Tell us about her
She's
story,
a transfer.
what she brings.
Yeah, she came in this summer off the transfer portal. She came to us from the University of Illinois. She is a junior, so she's a very young junior. She's only 19 years old, which is crazy. But she has lots of experience. She won the Canadian Am 2 years ago.
Very cool.
Played really well for Illinois, but was hoping to come somewhere to get a little bit better experience and to compete for national championships, which, everything she said on her recruiting visit was music to my ears. So was glad to have her decide to come play here, and she's been an amazing teammate, hard worker, very smart, does really well in the business school here, and excited for her next year and a half here at Baylor.
Yeah, talk about her coming out of the portal from Illinois. You've had to bring in quite the recruiting class and freshman class into Baylor. NIL and transfer portal are 2 hot words right now.
Yeah,
just
sure.
in college athletics. What does that look like from y'all's side of things. I mean, that's a lot of work, especially your sport being more international, of trying
Sure.
to get girls in and out of the portal and create a recruiting class.
Yeah, it's been really interesting. I think that I've been doing this 20 years now. I think the mindset that we were in for a long time is very different now. Is that, again, you try not to be so transactional. I mean, I think it's important to pour into these young people and to feel like you're helping them improve and letting them grow into the people they're going to be. Which I think Baylor has the amazing atmosphere for that and allows them to do all that. But it's a little bit more of a transactional world, which we're living in. I would say that I think, and I've said this before on this show, is I think the transfer portal has been somewhat of a good idea because coaches don't always get it right when they're recruiting student athletes. And I would say that vice versa, student athletes don't always get it right as well. Yeah. So if you have somebody that comes in and you don't feel that they're a fit for you, or they might not feel that they're a fit for the team,
Yeah.
it gives you a new lifeline. It gives you an opportunity to maybe know what you need or what you want and go out and seek that one more time. So I think that there has been, positive things about the transfer portal that people are not thinking about. And again, it's been really good to us. It's been the last 5 years, I would say, the best player on our team has come off the transfer portal. Yeah. So it's been a good thing for us, and it's also allowed us to, there's been a few instances where the fit for us wasn't exactly perfect, and it gave somebody an opportunity to go somewhere else. And at the end of the day, I want all my players to have a great experience, and whether it's here, whether it's somewhere else, I want them to play lots of golf, lots of great golf, get a great education, and enjoy playing college golf, because this is, again, the most fun part of your life. And I think that these are the reason that I coach is I'm competitive, and I had such a great experience when I was playing college golf. I want that for everybody.
Yeah.
I want them to enjoy it the way I did and enjoy the competition, enjoy playing with your friends. You don't get that time back, and you don't get it anymore after this.
Yeah.
So.
No, for sure. I think that's a good perspective to have.
Yeah.
Is you have a lot of, especially like young women coming out of high school, 17, 18, trying to decide where they want to go for the next 4 years. And that's a big decision alongside parents, and it's just a lot to think about when you're going through that process.
Yeah.
And you may pick the wrong school, and that's okay. And getting to see other different paths.
Yeah, it's a daunting thing to think about at that age. And I think the other thing that people don't think about is if you're really good, these coaches are putting pressure on you to make a decision fast. Mm-hmm. It's not like you can go on your 5 visits and you have like 6 months to think about it and all this. That's not the way it works anymore. Yeah. It's like, oh, did you come here? Oh, did you like it? Oh, are you going to say yes? If you don't, I'm moving on to the next person that will say yes. Mm. And again, we hate to be transactional. I don't want to be transactional, but I know that things move fast now, and mistakes, sometimes they happen. Yeah. And this gives the coaches and gives the players a lifeline to move forward and go get that good experience that they deserve.
Yeah. You feel like you've won in the portal if you've been able to find some good girls. What are you looking for in the portal for out of a player?
I think the interesting thing with the transfer portal is that you have data. You have college experience to look at to see how they've played in big events, how they've played against, other great players, how they've played in big moments or big tournaments. So the great thing really is that you get basically a snapshot of what kind of player that's going to be on your team. Now, numbers don't mean everything, right. And I think that you have to get to meet that person, get to know them. Every person I've had off the transfer portal, I've brought in, spent time with them, made sure that it was the right fit before I made the offer, because the last thing anybody wants is for them to make, their second college choice and it not be right as well. Yeah. So the good thing is, I think that most of them have come in and, again, they know what they want. They know where they screwed up the first time or where the fit didn't match. So I think that's what's made it really good for us, is that they know what they're looking for. They come here and they have a better idea or a better checklist of what they need to be successful. So when they come here and meet me and my assistant coach Maddie and see our facilities and see how great the Baylor family is around them, I think it's a pretty quick sell usually.
Yeah. Baylor is an easy sell.
It's a pretty good sell.
Yeah, we're obviously biased, but it's a good sell. But
we are biased.
Yes, very biased.
Yes.
But we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll have some more with Coach Jay Goble, women's head golf coach from the Rudy's Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank. We'll be right back.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. No reputable company or government agency will ever ask you to pay them with gift cards,
...2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas, it's built by Texas. Which means the Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 subvention cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for offer details. Offer available in select states and ends 2/2/26.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed. Smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. And a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line. You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
By Central National Bank, your independent leading bank. We are here at Rudy's. Thank you to Rudy's for just being such gracious hosts throughout this spring semester as we get rolling to Coaches Show. Okay, we talked about it a little bit before break, but I do think it's really cool at this level of golf that this is one of the times that you will actually get to compete as a team.
Yes.
We talked about it a little bit, but there's this new 500 rule that you've had to adapt over the past 2-3 years.
Just 2 years now.
Just 2
the
years.
second year.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
tell us how are you building a schedule? What does that look like for y'all? I mean, is that something the girls are having to think about a lot more of hitting that mark?
I don't think the girls think about it too much. The main thing that it's changed is essentially when we go to a tournament now, we have to look at our win-losses. So if we go play in an event with 10 teams and we finish 6th, then we have 4 losses and 5 wins or whatever.
Yeah.
So at the end of your conference championship, to be eligible for postseason, you have to be 500. Okay. So you have to be at least even wins and losses in your tournaments.
And that's including fall?
That's including fall. That's including Big 12 championship.
Okay.
So last year, we finished 64-64. So we finished exactly 500.
Yeah.
And if we would have had one more loss during the year to any team, we would have been ineligible to play postseason.
Yeah.
And that would have been crazy because, again, we played in regionals, finished 4th, and made it to the national championship again.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have had the opportunity to play in those last 2 events if last year we lost to one more team.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy.
The only thing that I've really done is I've adjusted our schedule a little bit. I would say not to make it easier, but to make it to where most of the tournaments we go to, are really deep on the front end, meaning the first 5 or 6 teams are really, really good. And then they'll have 4, 5, 6 teams at the end that are ranked a little higher. So not to say that I've kind of built in some wins, but we've built in a few.
You're being mindful.
Yeah, we're being mindful of the fact that, I never want to have that feeling again at the end of Big 12 championship. Like, are we in? Are we out?
Yeah.
We had Matt Roberts, our SID there, that we were like 10 minutes after the Big 12 championship was done. We still didn't know if we were in because we didn't know if we needed to be one position over 500 or if just 500 was good enough.
Yeah.
So it was crazy, and we've never had to think about it in the existence of women's golf. The men's golf side has had it for a long time.
Right.
So they've been adjusting their schedule for many years now, trying to figure out the 500 rule. But for us, like I said, we were talking earlier, I think we're off to a good start.
Yes. Yeah.
57-9.
Yeah, it's a good cushion.
I think we're good so far, and we got another 10 or 12 wins this week as well.
Yeah.
So I think we're okay.
Yeah, a good start.
We got a really good start.
Yes. And you mentioned, missing it would have obviously been devastating. But a stat that I think is something that you should just print on a T-shirt and just fly everywhere. You're one of 7 teams that has made it to the last 7 out of 8 NCAA championships, not just regionals, championships.
Sure.
Which regionals, like you said, is going to be hosted at
Ridgewood Country
year,
Club.
which,
yes.
Again,
nice.
put that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Just add to that.
Yeah.
57-9. What does it take for those girls to get in that mindset of just achieving greatness each year?
I think, in my mind, the key to our consistency is that we work really hard, and we talk about this a lot, is, it's nice to be really good in January. It's nice to be good in the fall. But we want to be progressing our games toward the postseason, toward the end of the year. We put a lot of emphasis on our stats. We put a lot of emphasis on working on the things that we need to work on to get better. And the old adage of getting 1% better every day is something that we really try to strive for. Some days you do get 1% better, some days you don't. But in the back of our minds, we're trying to move or progress in a way that our games are the best they're going to be in April and May.
Yeah.
And I think that we've done that. I think that we play a schedule, and we have a system put into place that we're getting a little bit better as we move through February, we move through March, we move into postseason. And, by the time we get to May, we're ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah. It's also really good that most of the time we're done with exams and we're done with it's going to be really nice this year. I believe we're done with all of our exams and everything when we go to regionals. So
that's big.
So in the past, it's been a bit challenging. The fact that the most difficult or most stressful tournament of the year is when they're doing their exams. Mm-hmm. So that's been something we've dealt with for a long time. But I believe this year they're done with everything by the time we tee off.
Yeah,
which should be great.
Oh yeah, and that's a big mindset thing that I know. Just playing volleyball, I was in the Sweet 16 taking my final for my math exam.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's
tough.
It's tough, and it's just a competitive advantage that those schools that are on the trimester system kind of have over.
A lot of the West Coast, West Coast schools in golf, they play the national championship, and then they go back to school for a month, and then they take their exams.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, what a great deal that is to be able to, you don't have your exams for another month. But like I said, the way it's working out this year, I like it. It makes me feel good that that they'll have a lot of the really tough stuff finished. Then we get to go play regionals, and then we can just, freely go play our games in nationals in La Costa.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we're taking another quick break. When we get back, we're still live at Rudy's on the Baylor's Coaches Show, and we will have questions from the audience when we come back.
Spring in Waco means one thing: Baylor baseball on Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark. From big home runs to big-time moments, this season is packed with must-see action. Season tickets are on sale now, giving you the best seats, the best value, and every unforgettable play all spring long. Don't just hear the crowd, be a part of it. Get your Baylor baseball season tickets today at BaylorBears.com/tickets.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
Energy, passion, unforgettable moments. That's Baylor softball at Getterman Stadium. From walk-off wins to jaw-dropping defense, this team delivers excitement every time they take the field, and season tickets put you right in the middle of it. Lock in your seat for every pitch, every rally, and every big moment this spring. Season tickets guarantee your spot for marquee matchups against Texas, Texas A&M, and more. Get your Baylor softball season tickets now at BaylorBears.com/tickets.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Show presented by Central National Bank. We are here at Rudy's. Rudy's is a proud sponsor of Baylor Athletics, so be sure to stop by your local Rudy's. Rudy's.com for some real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. Don't forget Rudy's serves breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. All right, we got some questions from our awesome audience who's been clapping and cheering the whole night.
Perfect.
This one is from Bob Barrett. Your prediction at the end of the season, which player do you feel like will have the lowest averaging score the way they're trending?
Yeah, I have 3 players right now that are trending toward that low score for the year. I have 3 players that are actually have scoring averages under 72 right now, which is a great place to be. I would say Melina Castro, Yurang Lee, and Celia Oma. Celia has been an All-American in the past for us. This is her senior year. Those 3 are I would say the core parts of our lineup. They all have really good scoring averages. They all have tons of great finishes, and I would say that one of those 3 at the end of the year is most likely going to be our low scoring average. But I feel really lucky to have those 3 players because they're great kids. They're great representatives of Baylor. They play hard, and they honestly they're just awesome people. So I love having all 3 of them on the team.
That's huge. From Roy, congrats on the recent 4th place win. Are your girls where you'd hoped they would be at this state of the season?
Yeah, I think they are. You know, when we come back from Christmas every year, Christmas break, it's always a few unknowns. We don't know exactly what they're going to come back with, and they all go back to different parts of the world and do different things. So, yes, I would say the answer to that is yes. We're about where I thought we would be. I feel like, you know, some players that have to go home to colder weather or more difficult conditions to play golf in are probably, if you were to ask them on this coach's show right now, they would tell you they're not where they need to be. But again, moving forward, I feel completely confident that by the time we get to the spring, they're going to be 100% ready to go. And I actually have 0 concerns that they won't be ready to go come the really important time of year. So, yeah. So I do think I need to get the lineup right. I took 2 individuals this week to the event. One of my individuals finished 15th or something.
Yeah. Was it Melina?
No, it was Bridget Bozar.
Okay.
If we would have had Bridget in the lineup, we would have finished 3rd, not 4th. And then, yeah, just some people were a little rusty this week. So I think we cleaned some things up, and we'll continue to move forward. And I feel good about the team.
This one's from Jerry. You are hosting a fundraiser tournament soon. Tell us a little bit about that and how someone can sign up if they're interested.
Yes, we have a fundraiser on March 9th at Ridgewood Country Club. It's called the Swinging Bear Classic. think a lot of people have seen the Swinging Bear logo that we have passing around here.
I'm very jealous of
Yeah, it's a really cool logo, and you know, again, we have a lot of great supporters and a lot of great people that help us out with Baylor Golf, and this is just an opportunity for all of us to get together. It is a fundraiser for men's and women's golf.
Very cool.
So we split everything equally down the middle, and it's just going to be an opportunity for our fans and our supporters to get to hang out with us for a day on the golf course, which is not something that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And we're going to have them there. We're going to have, you know, again, a lot of great silent auction items and a lot of cool things that people are probably not even thinking about that we're going to auction off to raise money for both teams.
Yeah, that's very cool. I think it's something that's cool about golf and tennis is that it can be a for life sport, and so you can invite people out and play. You can't really do that with volleyball.
No, you don't see a whole lot of people playing volleyball in their 60s just out hanging out, but yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. And, you know, the really cool thing for us, too, is we have a great golf course that we get to play all the time in Ridgewood Country Club. And I want to go ahead and thank them publicly, too, because they really support us. Like they're letting us host regionals there. We have our home event there. We have our fundraiser there. The Baylor community and Ridgewood Country Club are really behind Baylor Golf. And I love that. I love that they're to have such a great place support our men's and women's teams so much is a true blessing, and I'm super pumped about that too.
Yeah, you mentioned hosting regionals. How do you qualify to do that? Is it a record? Is it a facility?
No, you put in bids.
Okay.
Yeah, you put in bids. Yeah, they're trying to do that to where if you're a top 6 team, you automatically host, but it's hard to do that with golf. Like you have to have some planning to have a golf course closed for 5 days. So it's not something you can do really like a month ahead of time. But we put in the bid for regionals in 2019 and got it.
Wow.
So it's been it's actually like a bunch of people like kind of forgot about it. But I'm like,
sure.
we got regionals this year. 2019 was when we got the bid.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
A big process.
Yeah. So it's been a while.
Yeah. Very cool that y'all qualified and get to do it. And yeah, excited to watch y'all. Well, Coach, thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate
It's been great.
And it's been awesome. Excited to watch your team throughout the spring. So stick around with us. When we come back, we will have Baylor softball head coach Glenn Moore for the back half of the show joining us. This is the Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's, presented by Central National Bank.
Thank you.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas, which means the Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit toyota.com today.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 subvention cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See toyota.com for offer details. Offer available in select states and ends 2/2/26.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. If you get a call saying they're going to lock you in jail for missing jury duty unless you pay a fine, that's fake. Scammers use scare tactics to force you to act without thinking. Just hang up the phone.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Have you been to the new location of Green Eye Associates yet? You'll still receive the same award-winning service and excellent care from Dr. Green and her dedicated optometrists and staff. But now conveniently located in Woodway, right off of Highway 84. Come see the expanded optical showroom and be sure to ask about innovative services like IPL treatments for dry eye symptoms and the brand new sports vision technology. Green Eye Associates, the official optometrists of Baylor Athletics.
You're listening.
Here we go.
Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Your leading independent bank. We're here at Rudy's, and our Baylor Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine Orthopedic Health Tip of the Week is: don't let pain slow you down. We diagnose and treat sport-related injuries and provide orthopedic services for athletes and non-athletes alike. Visit Baylor Scott and White Sport Medicine Orthopedic Specialist and move like you used to. We have Baylor softball head coach Glenn Moore for the second half of the show. Coach, thanks for being here.
Good to be here again.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you. You got to talk a lot of softball yesterday of the Big 12 network. How was it?
Well, it's pretty good. They threw me some curveballs.
Yeah, did they?
But we've been seeing curveballs for a long time. Yeah, it was good. It was nice. This is our first time to do, I think, a media day for softball. So I thought it was really good for the sport and, going in the right direction. So, yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun. And then we had Amber and Brooklyn were able to interview at after I did and talk about their program. It always is like working up to that first game, the excitement, and you can feel it in the air, and interviews, things like this, it just leads to a more exciting start. So it was good.
Very awesome. One of the things I did ask you about is you had last year one of the most veteran teams that you've ever had. Now you're on the flip side of that, having probably one of the youngest teams that you've ever had. What can we expect from your team this season? I'm very excited to watch.
Well, yeah, I'm not the smartest coach in the world. Our team would agree to that. All right, they're sitting back there in the corner, but so I last year I talked how veteran we were and that we were, one of the better teams we put on the field, and then of course we had making excuses now. Nobody wants to hear that, but we had some bad luck with the pitchers' injuries and injuries to other positions, and we ended up fighting for our life just to get to 500. And so from a win-loss standpoint, it was a disappointing year, but from a team standpoint, it wasn't. They stayed together, they fought to the end, and saw a lot of beautiful things and some beautiful athletes and people, so from that standpoint, it was a good year. Transitioning to this year being one of maybe the youngest team I've ever put on the field. We have 18 that are freshmen or sophomores and 4 seniors and 3 juniors. So a lot of pressure on those upperclassmen to lead such a young team, and they're doing a great job. The fall was phenomenal. They get along well, it seems, and I just think there's a lot of talent to be developed. I'm excited about that. It's really a challenge as a coach to get it headed in the right direction, because you have a little more depth than we've had before. So trying to figure out what your right combination is going to be a lot of fun as we get through these first few weeks of playing somewhere around 15, 20 games in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, just a big testament to y'all's program too, of keeping around those 4-3 seniors and juniors and 18 freshmen. You've put a lot of confidence in those girls too, and it's something that has been grown, I'm sure, over their 4 years as well. Hey, we're going to bring in 18 new girls, and you got to teach them the Baylor softball way.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the times that we're living in, where kids leave programs. They have 3 or 4 schools on the name on their name, their bio. So, it's a lot of movement, and we kind of, and I said this yesterday, we're kind of in that mode of recruiting like a junior college. You're going to turn a big roster over every year. Just so happens that we have a couple of classes that are really big right now, and I don't ideally like that. I'd like to have the attrition and graduate 6 and bring 6 in, but it's just not the day and age that we live in, and we've got to go after what we can get right now. And I really like this team, and it's a challenge. It'll be a challenge, but certainly one I think they're capable of meeting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Talking about the portal, you have 2 new transfers that you've brought in, Samaya Jones and Cambry Krager. Samaya Jones is coming from LSU, but she's a Texas girl. In the portal, I don't know if you recruited her before or after, but I'm sure there's names that kind of come up, but just being in Texas that you're like, I had my eyes on you the whole time.
Well, Samaya, I joke with her, she didn't give us a time of day. At the first go-round, we recruited her, but, she was number 2 middle infielder in the nation coming out of high school, and she had, to do what she had to do, but we joke about that. So that's why you recruit them, and you treat them good when they go somewhere else, and maybe they'll knock on your door when they come back around. So we're happy to have her. And you mentioned Cambry. Cambry was one we recruited very hard and told us, and when she let us down easy. She said, if I was staying in Texas, I would go to Baylor. And she goes off to another school out west, and it wasn't her fit, so we got a call right away. So again, that's why you recruit sometimes for those possibilities. And you didn't mention her, but Peyton Tanner, another one as well, coming in from Tennessee, is another pitcher we're expecting big things out of as well. And so that's what you do. You recruit sometimes for the harvest at the moment, and then sometimes you're planting seeds for a harvest down the road. And fortunately for us, we had a great year of recruiting in the portal.
Yeah. What does it take just to recruit in the portal? I mean, do you feel like you have a downtime now, or is it constantly going?
We have a downtime at Christmas when they have the complete shutdown, but it's year-round. We're evaluating in the summer, but now used to you were just evaluating until you got to the end of the summer, and then you started making calls and getting on campus for the fall and going to football games. But now the portal opens, during the World Series, so or right before the World Series. So, you're recruiting. If you're in the World Series, you're recruiting, Wow. So there is really no downtime. And some schools are even having camps before their Friday game or Saturday game during the season to bring in 10 or 12. It never ends. That's the lifeline of your program is recruiting, and you've got to be prevalent in the minds of these young people. So you're always recruiting during camps and evaluating travel ball in high school, things like that. So.
Yeah. No downtime.
Not much, not much. In fact, whenever I do have a little downtime, my wife always says, "Don't you have somewhere to go recruiting again?" So, and sends me out. But no, it's
nodding her head in the back.
It's a lot. It's fun, but it's
right.
at 8 o'clock. These athletes go play 2 or 3 games in a day.
Yeah.
And they go to the hotel. The coaches show up at 7 o'clock in the morning and stay till 8 or 10 o'clock at night. And when you're in the heat of Houston, that gets old quick.
Yeah.
So, but.
Yeah. And talk about trying to change and transfer and recruiting, and you've been around the block a time or two with softball. What do you feel like are some things that you've been able to either hold on to or have had to adjust in just your coaching style, recruiting style that you've seen? You've probably seen a lot of different trends in the softball world.
Well, one benefit of being older in the profession is that you build all the relationships. So you get to know who you can trust and who you can't. And there are some fly-by-night travel ball coaches that are just looking to get a notch in their belt. You got to learn those. And then there's some that you can trust that really care about the kid. They want a good fit, and they're not always, being a private school that had 12 scholarships forever. You're having to combine academics and athletics to make it. The story there. And you just have to really work hard. You may not get the most talented team every year because you've got to get a combination of players and build enough depth, and you've got to have 3 to 4 or 5 arms, and so it's just really networking with those coaches, and I think that's probably what I think is the most important. But having said that, now we live in a day and age where you can offer a kid a full scholarship and they want to know what's next. So that's a little disappointing for an old guy because a scholarship to Baylor is worth a whole lot, and it's very valuable, for their future. But now they're wanting to know what's coming next, and you can't blame the kids. But at the same time, it's kind of disappointing that we've gotten to that point.
Yeah. This is just a cool interview for me to do because I grew up watching Whitney Cannon. 12 a.m., just eating banana in the dugout because it's gone to extra innings. And just, again, you've seen a lot of softball. What do you feel like keeps you energized going through this process of, I don't know if you'll ever get a Whitney Cannon ever again, but as a coach, what keeps you going?
Well, that's a good question, but I grew up with a family of athletes, one of 7 kids right in the middle, 5 boys. My dad was a great men's fast pitch pitcher, and we cut our teeth watching him play. So my motivation is just my love for the game, and I just absolutely love competing. I love the game. As I've gotten older, I've enjoyed their athletes more, so the camaraderie part of it. I had to learn early. I tell this story often. I had to learn early that I had to be careful with sarcasm because you have 5 boys in a family with a dad. And you live off of sarcasm, and you make fun of each other, and you get tough skin, and girls would take it personal. So
Yes.
I had to back off of that for a long time. But this team really likes sarcasm too. So, you know, knowing the limits, obviously, but I just like the camaraderie and having fun with the team. And they sing on the bus. Every now and then I sing and they put their earbuds in. But, you know, I just like the whole career of coaching. I don't like the recruiting as much as we talked about earlier, but outside of that, the season and just watching them grow, helping them go through difficult challenges and grow out of that, and from freshman to senior, what they become. And then probably now I'm at a stage in my career where those that finished up 15, 20 years ago are calling me and, you know, talking to me like I'm their dad, and, you know, just things like that are cool. And if you can help somebody, you know, not make a mistake in life when they're young, that's pretty rewarding as well.
Yeah, very cool. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, but when we get back, we'll have more from Glenn Moore, head coach with Baylor Women's Softball, live from the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank. We will be right back.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
If you need a trailer, Flat Rock Trailers has got you covered. From light-duty single-axle utility trailers to the Big Tex tandem duals. We also carry a full line of enclosed cargo trailers. Need a motorcycle trailer? We've got them. Need a dump trailer? We've got the largest selection in the state. Oilfield trailers? We carry a full line of Big Tex trailers to handle all your needs. Trailer repairs? We repair all makes and models. We'll even rent you a trailer if you need to use one for a day. Flat Rock Trailers, your #1 source for all your trailer needs. Find us at flatrocktrailers.com.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed. Smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. And a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll beat all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line. You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Independent Bank. We are here at Rudy's, and Coach, a new addition to y'all's program. You got a new locker room.
Yes.
Correct? How exciting is that? Probably about time for y'all.
Yeah,
correct?
long overdue.
Yeah.
Long overdue. It's super nice though, and the girls, we did the reveal about 2 weeks ago when they came back from Christmas, and you know, Rick and Peggy Hawkins gave the lead gift for that, but many people contributed to it, and it's just state of the art in every aspect. And yes, it was long overdue. It's about 20 years since we've had an upgrade in there, other than, you know, painting the lockers once, I think. But televisions over each locker, and great sound system, snack bar, mirrors, and it's just a really cool locker room. And really proud for the girls, proud for the program, and, you know, another tool for recruiting.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I remember coming on my visit, they didn't show me the locker room for a reason.
Yeah.
And so now we have a very nice, brand new
Yeah.
locker room over at Farrell Center. But something that I really admire about y'all's team is the team retreat that they take right before season starts.
Spiritual retreat.
The spiritual retreat. Yeah. I believe a couple of girls got baptized at that.
Yeah, appreciate you asking that, because Danny Price, our director of ops, is out here somewhere paying the bill. So Danny coordinates that. She's also our team chaplain, and she kicked the year off in the way it should, the way you should, getting your team founded on the right stuff to start with. So we go out to the Parsons Ranch, and they're very nice and generous to allow us to use their ranch, and the girls stay overnight. It's a 24-hour period, and we have speakers and music, and they play games, get competitive, and at the end, any of them that makes professions of faith, we do a baptism outside in a hot tub, and it's something that's we've done for quite a few years now, and we had 4 baptized this year, so
very cool.
that was a pretty cool moment, and that's what it's really all about, and what Baylor's mission is all about. So.
Yeah. That's a foundation that, I mean, how cool to start your season off that way, but to know that your whole team is on that same page. I mean, I'm sure that foundation has been tested a lot of times throughout seasons.
Oh, it is, but that's life too, and we look at our sport as our mission field anyway. We don't think that minimizes how competitive you can be. In fact, the more competitive you are, the more enticing you are to young kids to want to come to your camps. And our camps are our mission field as well. We have speakers, we have overnight devotionals and things like that. So, we're just trying to use our God-given abilities as coaches and players to preach the gospel, and that's what the Great Commission is. So it's exciting to have athletes that do this as well. So sharing that with campers is just a phenomenal thing to see. On Wednesday nights, after our camp starts on Sunday, we have a concert, and the kids are hungry for it, and they get it here. So much in travel ball and all sports, they're taken away from church activities and youth groups, and there's a hunger there that we're able to feed for a few minutes, and it's really special to see. And these girls make life-changing decisions, and one of Danny's greatest testimonies, or her testimony, is that she came here as a non-believer to a camp, accepted Christ, eventually came back to after playing at McNeese State, went to Truett Seminary, and went into sports ministry, and now she's our chaplain, and she's a great coach, but she's a greater person and a great chaplain for our team, and has led many kids to Christ.
Yeah, I love that's a full circle moment with Baylor. It's a very.
It is, and it's so. I'm just so appreciative that Baylor is a venue or a school that prioritizes that. And it's our main pillar, and it should always be, and we can never lose sight of that, because that's what separates us from the secular universities. And we don't need to try to be like other people. We need to be like Baylor.
Yeah, one of one, Doug McNamee.
There
it's
you
my
go.
new quote that
That's
I want to
right.
say every time I talk about Baylor. One of one.
One of one.
I heard your outfield is supposed to be pretty speedy this coming season. Carrington Dawson and Brooklyn Carter, what kind of competitive advantage does that provide for y'all heading into spring?
Yeah, traditionally we've always had a fast outfield here, and maybe I would challenge any school in the country to have a faster outfielder than we have had over the years. And it goes back to when we had more of a short game philosophy. Our game has transitioned from slapping and bunting to more of a power hitting game. So you don't have that short game developed when they get to college anymore. So we've transitioned a little bit as well, even though that's my passion. I love that part of the game. But we're going to always try to have speed on our team, because speed creates mistakes for the other team and generates runs, and I just love speed. So both of those you mentioned are very solid outfielders. We're still trying to decide. We've got a lot of options for right field, and we've got a lot of speed that can play those positions. So we're going to fool around with some lineups early on and try to figure out, really the cream will rise to the top with whoever performs the best offensively. So that's really what we're looking for, because we know what they can do defensively, and we have several options out there for right field. But, yeah, our outfield's very fast.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn made the All Big 12 preseason team as well. So
big deal. Nice to add to the start of the season. You talked about injury being a bit of an issue last season, so you've gotten to add to that pitching side of the game. Who have you added? What do we get to see in this coming season?
Yeah, so our pitching staff will enter the year somewhat healthy, okay? Because we've had, we traditionally, because you can't fill your team up with pitchers because of scholarship money, we've had to rely on one or two arms, and when one goes down, you're just, it's just really tough to win at this level without bullpen. We're going to have a deeper bullpen this year. We may not have the double-digit strikeouts from any pitcher, but I think we have pitchers that will grow into double-digit strikeout pitchers. But we have a young pitching. I mean, Sadie Ross is returning with after starting the year with being released a week before the season with her third ACL. You know, it's a hard thrower, down ball pitcher, can win ball games, great change. We mentioned Peyton and Cambry, both rusty because they didn't play a lot last year, but both great potential and two of the top arms in the state of Texas. And Casey West is has the most experience in just a smart pinpoint accuracy and good velocity. She's small, but she throws in the upper 60s. When she's coming off of arm surgery as well, but she's doing really well and looking good. And then Lexi Warnke for the fifth pitcher is again coming off of another arm surgery. A lot of these pitchers throw so much before they get here.
I'm sure.
They're worn out, many of them, before they get here. And she's one that was used heavily and came here kind of with an injury that she's had to get over, but she's looking really good. Had a great outing today, especially for the first few innings of our inter squad today. Really made some batters struggle a little bit with the movement, and she's building her confidence every time she's out there. So really happy with what Coach Newman's doing with our pitchers. They have a thing called down there, I call it a cult, but they call it the Forge, and they really have a lot of great camaraderie and work well together. So we're going to use that as a baseball type of mentality. Okay. So we're going to have closers, we're going to have middle relievers, and we will have probably fewer complete games this year than we would typically have. Last year we had a bunch because we were relying on Lily Walker most of the time, but a typical team will probably have a lot more complete games than we will have this year.
Okay. Well, your stack over here of questions is growing, so I want to take a quick break so we can get to answer some of those, but we'll be right back on the Baylor Coaches Show.
Hey Baylor fans, this is your call to gear up with Harley-Davidson of Waco. Whether you're hitting the open road or tailgating at McLean Stadium, we've got the ride to match your Bear pride. Check out our wide selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, visit our service department, or shop all the latest gear and accessories to show off your Baylor spirit and Harley pride. Visit us today and find your freedom on two wheels. Harley-Davidson of Waco, where Baylor fans never ride alone. Visit in-store or at hdwaco.com. Sic 'em Bears.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud. Here's a tip. Don't buy from social media ads unless the ad is from a verified company. When you click those ads, you open yourself up to fraud. If it seems too good to be true, it almost always is. This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas, which means the Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 subvention cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for offer details. Offer available in select states and ends 2/2/26.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Well, welcome back to Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank here at Rudy's. We're going to get to some of those questions, Coach. How does it sound?
Makes me nervous, but let's do it.
This one's from Bob Barrett. Who do you think will lead the team in home runs, batting average, start the season?
Good question there. We have so many unknowns there, but I think in quite a few have power. So, Leah Cran, I just mentioned some names that hit it out there in practice. Leah Cran's pretty consistent. Kagan Marshall, has great power. She's young, but of course, Katie Dawson, everybody's expecting big things out of her. But there's quite a few that could lead in that area, and I'm kind of excited to see. And pitching-wise, just like I just said, there's so many that can take the lead there. I think Cambry Krieger's got multi-dimensional pitches. She pitches in 4 planes and makes it move really well, very confident. Got more velocity and not much more, but Peyton has a lot of velocity, and so does Sadie. And so it's just so many unknowns right now with this team because it's so young.
This one's from Julie Long, kind of tags on to your last one, but expectations for your pitching staff.
Yeah, I think I hit on it earlier with the treating it more like a baseball mentality where you have a starter, a middle reliever, and a closer. I think you're going to see more of that. We have the ability to do that. We have all righties, but we have pitchers that throw in different planes. So if you need a ground ball, Sadie's the one to bring in and get a ground ball. If you want high heat, then probably tenor. But they all look a little bit different. They got something different to bring, and that's what you want.
This is from Gus. What position do you think you could play on the field?
What, Gus? None. I could play none now. Played them all, but probably better than Gus at any of them, though, to be honest with you. No, just kidding.
This is an anonymous one. What would your walk-up song be?
Is there one that's like Let It Go or something? Let It Go? Is that a song called Let It Go? I don't know. Let It Go? Let It Go?
Frozen, something like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. This one's from Roy. If you could choose one pitcher, one catcher combo from your Baylor career, who is it?
Well, you mentioned Whitney Kenyon, but there's been so many good ones. Kristen Vitek still holds the national strikeout record. Some of us in here are old enough to remember the game that she threw against North Carolina for 16 innings, one of the longest games in NCAA history, and she set the national strikeout record at 26 or 27 in that game. So if I had to do a combination, I would probably say, Coach Newman at LSU would have been a good one, and Whitney Kenyon with Coach Newman and Jenny Reeves, and then Whitney Kenyon and Claire Hozak would probably be the one. And that's kind of unfair to all the other ones that were really good. So those are just some that I think really made the mark in the history of Baylor softball.
Yeah. Last one, just because I'm also curious. This is an NA question from our table on the left. What is your best dating advice?
Best dating advice? Well, that's a crazy question. So open the door. Open the door. Show my age there.
Well, thank you, Coach. Appreciate you for coming on. I had a great time. I hope you did too. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have our upcoming Baylor athletic events.
Premier ER and Urgent Care.
All right, we're already over, so just wrap it up as quick as you can.
Roof. At every visit,
Thank you.
ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Have you been to the new location of Green Eye Associates yet? You'll still receive the same award-winning service and excellent care from Dr. Green and her dedicated optometrists and staff. But now conveniently located in Woodway, right off of Highway 84. Come see the expanded optical showroom and be sure to ask about innovative services like IPL treatments for dry eye symptoms and the brand new sports vision technology. Green Eye Associates, the official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll beat all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call an order of Rudy's Group Meal.
Next in line. You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Well, we're just about to wrap up here tonight, but want to tell you about some of our upcoming events so you can make sure you're staying in tune with Baylor Athletics. Track and field is in Manhattan, Kansas for the DeLoss Dodds Invitational starting Friday and Saturday, so make sure you're keeping on track with them. Tariah Kelly is #1 in the nation in the 200-meter, and Molly Haywood is #1 in the conference in pole vault, so make sure you're cheering them on. Men's tennis is back at Hawkins Indoor Center Friday, 6 p.m. against Tulsa. Saturday, we have Baylor men's basketball will be in Morgantown, 3 p.m. on ESPN2, taking on West Virginia. And as the women follow them on Sunday, it will also be Morgantown against West Virginia, 12 p.m. on ESPN. Also Sunday, women's tennis returns to Hawkins Indoor, starting at 12 p.m. against SMU. Well, thank you to head coach softball Glenn Moore and to Jay Goble, head women's golf coach, for joining us tonight. That's our show. I'm Faith Lynch. Thanks for having me today. For all of our partners, and to Rudy's for being a great host. See you next time on the Baylor Coaches Show.